All right, chat, we have some big Guilty Gear news to talk about. So as we all know, Guilty Gear players have been long waiting for some kind of information related to the game. I feel like we've been waiting since like January this year for new info. And we finally got it, but not quite in the way that people expected. However, I still think it's actually more important than people are maybe giving it credit for initially. So ArcSys randomly the other day decided to announce that they are doing a Guilty Gear animated series. And just on the surface, I think this is just a cool thing. You know, like getting more Guilty Gear stuff is always good. I think Guilty Gear is a series that lends itself to being an anime obviously pretty well. I mean, the games themselves, their story modes are basically just virtual novels anyways. And on top of that, I think it's a really good way to get more people to kind of get into Guilty Gear. You know, just having an anime be on Netflix or wherever else, I actually think is pretty valuable for the series and getting more people into it. However, beyond just all of that, I think there's actually a little bit more going on with this announcement, and I think this could mean a lot more for not just Guilty Gear Strive, but kind of the future of Guilty Gear in general. So today, I want to talk about my theory behind this anime announcement, and also kind of talk about the dissatisfaction and frustration that some Guilty Gear players have been having in regards to information about Guilty Gear, because I think these two things might actually be related. So first of all, based on my understanding, I'm not the biggest Guilty Gear lore person, but from my understanding, it seems that this anime is actually going off of the ending of Strive. We can see that by the fact that Soul doesn't have his headband or his ponytail anymore. And honestly, he looks kind of weird that way, but whatever. We see that they have Sin on the cover art, probably implying that they are going to be focusing on making him more like a proper main character. And then in the background, we have this new chick, and she could potentially be like a new antagonist or something. I'm not really sure. I do think her design looks kind of promising, though. I'm really curious to see more about her. But the point is, I think they're setting up for, you know, kind of a future beyond Strive. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And let me paint a picture why I think this matters a lot. So going into Guilty Gear Strive, that game is about 3 years old at this point, and I would not say the game is dying or anything like that, but it's definitely hit the point in its lifespan where it's kind of stagnating a little bit. They're not getting a lot of new names or faces into the game anymore or anything like that. On top of that, Guilty Gear Strive is by far the best-selling Guilty Gear game, and Guilty Gear has kind of really launched itself into like the public eye at this point, and you see ArcSys has been trying to kind of capitalize on that. We see ArcSys really leaning into their casual crowd in the last year or two. They're making way more merchandise, they're doing things like an anime now, and I foresee that we're going to see a lot more things in this direction as well in the future, where they try to do more things to try to push Guilty Gear beyond just being a fighting game, but more so trying to push the IP as a whole. So, you know, as I mentioned, Guilty Gear players have been really waiting for information on, you know, the rest of Season 3, as well as whatever's coming in Season 4. And when I first saw this anime announcement, I was a little bit annoyed because it's just like, well, you know, that's cool, but I want, you know, information about the game, right? And I still am like that, don't get me wrong. But I think this actually might be directly related to Season 4 and beyond for Guilty Gear. You know, one of the biggest issues with Season 3 has been the lack of communication, despite the fact that ArcSys said at the start of the season that they wanted to be more communicative with their players. And on top of that, the lack of mid-season updates have been very grueling to deal with. You know, even for myself, someone who likes Season 3, there's been definitely a lack of updates, and there's things about the game that, even as someone who likes it, could clearly be improved upon. And Season 3 being as big as it was, they changed system mechanics and gave characters new moves, that type of thing. It's kind of the season that needed mid-season updates the most out of all of them. So not getting those, I think, feels particularly bad. And then, you know, there's other things like we're supposed to be getting new special moves for existing characters. And we haven't really been getting those for a little bit now. You know, there's still 6 characters they have to do, and Season 3 is going to be coming to an end not too far from now. So the general lack of communication and everything has been kind of people's problem. And then to get an anime announcement out of nowhere feels kind of, I don't want to say tone deaf, but it feels a little bit weird at first. But when you start to really think about it, and you think about how ArcSys is not just trying to coast on Guilty Gear Strive, they're actually trying to capitalize on where it is and try to push it even further, and you think about the lack of communication and kind of lack of direction for the game currently, doesn't it start to make a lot of sense that they would want to line up Season 4 and future announcements alongside this anime that they're pushing? Because if you think about it, what's their current goal right now? They're trying to get new people into Guilty Gear, and they're trying to get people to come back to Guilty Gear who played it previously and have now gone off to play other fighting games that have been taking, you know, the spotlight away from Guilty Gear, like Street Fighter and Tekken. This anime seems to be a big deal for them. They seem to be pushing it really hard on their end. For me, I could definitely predict a world where a Season 4 character is from this anime. Like, this woman in the background could definitely be like the last season 4 character in my opinion. So my theory and why maybe they've been a little bit quiet on things and why it feels kind of weird right now is that they might be planning something a little bit bigger than we were expecting for not just season 4, but kind of Guilty Gear as a whole moving forward. They might have bigger plans. They're focused more on the long term, which is a good thing. If you're a Guilty Gear fan, obviously it kind of sucks right now, but it feels like they're trying to take care of things for the long term, which is a little bit more reassuring as a Guilty Gear fan. So I could see them definitely setting up to, you know, kind of push Guilty Gear Strive Season 4 alongside this anime, have a lot of cross promotion going, you know, have a brand new season in the game to encourage people who are just watching the anime to pick up the game, put characters from the anime in the season pass so people can go play their favorite new characters, as well as I could see them just pushing a new story for Guilty Gear in a new game, right? Or maybe a big title update for Strive or something like that, right? We're starting to get to the point where Guilty Gear Strive is old enough where they gotta start thinking about what the future of the game is going to be and what the future of the series is going to be. It's not just about like, oh, are we getting season 4 or are we getting season 5? They're probably setting things up for a bigger plan in general, which is overall a good thing. I don't think that excuses the poor communication they've had throughout season 3. Realistically, just doing a small balance update throughout the season shouldn't take that much effort, I feel like. You know, maybe it's kind of the silver lining in that this might be a good sign of some bigger things to come for Guilty Gear, in my opinion. Honestly, Arsys's lack of communication isn't even just about Guilty Gear. I feel like in general, we don't really know what they're doing overall. And that's kind of even more signs that there might be something bigger kind of happening in the background right now with Arsys and what they are planning to do. So yeah, I totally get it. As a Guilty Gear player myself, I play the team every day. I definitely wish we'd get better communication and more understanding of what's going on with Season 3. And of course, you know, start hyping us up for Season 4 and letting us know what's actually going to be there beyond just speculation on an anime and how it might tie in. So I get it, but this video is mostly just to kind of give people a silver lining look at how the situation is right now. That's my big brain theory, chat. I think this is our Season 4 teaser, unironically. This is our first taste of Season 4 Strive right here, this image. I really do think that we're going to get an anime character, or maybe more, in the first season. I think you open Season 4 with like Dizzy or Venom or some shit. Like some like fan, like highly requested character. And then you end the season off with one of these anime characters, because by then the anime will be out and people will be excited about it. I totally think you do that. And they'll probably push other things, like, I don't know, there might be a story mode in the game that continues the story or something. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely going to be trying to tie cross-promotion with this and, like, other things that are maybe in the works. Soul and Sin are getting buffed? Yes. Now, what does that mean for actual balance changes and the direction of the balance and everything? I'm not sure. Arsys said in an interview, they basically said, moving forward, they're going to be balancing the game in a way that rewards the better player. Like, unironically, that is what they said. They're going to be focusing on, like, you know, changing the game in a way that focuses on letting people leverage their skill and understanding. And instead, they'll be catering to the casuals and, you know, the more laid back crowd, I guess, with, you know, new modes and features like the 3v3 mode. And I just think that sentence is really funny, because it's like, what have we been doing for the past 3 years then? Like, is that just admitting that we haven't been balancing aim for skill? Like, I know they haven't. Because, like, clearly they're just trying to make a fun game that gets people invested. I don't know. I thought that shit was funny, though. They're like, yeah, next patch, the better player will win, for sure. But also, I feel like they say that a lot, just like they say they're going to lower damage and things like that. Just like they say they're going to communicate with us more and all that type of thing by a dartboard. I think a dartboard could have maybe accomplished better things than what Season 3 did, but I digress. Of course, that's just how I feel about the matter. I definitely want to know what you guys over on YouTube think about the situation. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited about the anime? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think that this is kind of like a bigger sign of things to come for Guilty Gear? Let me know down below. While you're down there, consider dropping a like and subbing to the channel. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube right now. Comments and likes help the YouTube algorithm way more than you might expect, so I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.